Hi everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the introductory video for the History of Christianity 1 course. As the name says, this course will explore the history of the Christian Church, and will only cover the earlier portion of this history in this course, up to approximately 1500 AD. You can expect to learn the latter history in the History of Christianity 2 course. So please don't be disappointed that we don't cover it all in this course, as there will be plenty of good stuff to fill up each course. And I don't want you to drown in too much information at a time. First, I need to introduce myself. My name is Brad, and I'll be your instructor for this course. I've been teaching this material at the college level for decades now, and students have found it helpful not only to learn history, but also to find application to their current lives. And now I'm making this material available for free for the benefit of individuals and churches, and I hope that you'll have a similar positive experience with this material. Speaking of you, let me explain who this course is designed for. Who should take this course? Like I mentioned, this has been taught at the college level, but I've restructured it to be used by a broad spectrum of students. This course is an introductory survey overview of the history of Christianity, and it does not require any prior knowledge of the subject. It does assume a certain amount of knowledge of the biblical history and message, so I recommend taking the Old Testament survey, the New Testament survey, and the Theological Foundations courses before this one. However, if you want to take this one first, it will still make perfect sense on its own without those prior courses. So this course is appropriate for those with no background and experience with historical study. And I believe this course will also be beneficial to those who have some exposure to Christian history, because it is intentionally different than many standard approaches to church history, which I'll come back to in a minute. This course has been designed in two forms, one with activities to be used by an individual going through this material on their own, and another form with activities to be used by a group of people going through this material together. Therefore, this course is appropriate for individual Christians wishing to grow in their knowledge, wisdom, and character, but it is also helpful to be used in churches, colleges, schools, any other group or individual who wishes to understand Christian history and its implications better. Now, all the details of this course are clearly spelled out in the course syllabus, which is available below this video on the course introduction page. This is an important document describing all you need to know about this course. However, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by walking you through it. I just want to highlight a few things to help you get a feel for this course and where it's going. First is the course description. This course is a study of the history of Christianity from the time of Christ to just before the Reformation. You will learn how believers in the past successfully lived out their Christian faith in a variety of ways. This will demonstrate how God has used faithful people, inspiring you to follow their example. And it will also demonstrate failures of the past to serve as warnings so that you don't make the same mistakes. And it will give you a greater understanding and appreciation of your own tradition and place in God's larger story. Understanding history as God's work in, through, among, and for his people will help you to be a better Christian and more fruitful in your own calling. Now, there are also specific objectives that I want to help you students accomplish, and I've broken these down into two categories. First are the general things you will learn, and second is the general mindset and wisdom you will gain in order to put the things that you've learned into practice. In terms of the cognitive objectives, that is, what you will learn, upon successfully completing this course, the student should be able to generally understand the world in which all of this history took place, understand how the church grew to what it became in the Middle Ages, understand how persecution and heresy impacted the formation and growth of the church, know the key people in this larger history, know the key doctrines of this period and how they were formed and why they matter, understand the various ways the church related to the state through this period and how that changed with Constantine, describe the nature, successes, and failures of the church during the medieval period, know the character, of the various churches outside of Europe and their particular challenges, and notice the ways that God was working through all this period. And then in terms of the mindset goals, that is, how you will be prepared to apply what you've learned, upon successful completion of this course, each student should have opportunity to grow in their own character, faithful discipleship, and worship, have a love for history, and continue to pursue wisdom through further study of history, grow in their own wisdom by using the lessons learned from history to prudently respond to their own challenges and opportunities, and grow in their love and trust of God based on His historical track record, trusting that God will be with you just as He was with His people throughout history to lead you to faithfulness and victory in any situation. All these objectives will become clear as we work through this course, and the reasons why all this is important will be addressed in the first lecture. Now, I want to address the nature of this course itself. There are a lot of history resources out there. Some are excellent, and some are not. So, how is this course different? What is this course like? This course is intended to be systematic, covering the material in an organized, consistent format to aid the student's learning. And this course attempts to be intellectually significant without overwhelming with boring details. In other words, I want to avoid just dry scholarship intended to impress scholars, which is irrelevant to normal people. Because history is more than just names and dates. It is real people in real situations with real consequences. So I want to help you make that connection between what you learn about the past and how you can live in the present and future. Therefore, this course will not only look at the events of the past, it will also concentrate on the lessons and principles that can be learned from the events of the past. History gives us many great examples of good things we should imitate, and it also gives us many bad examples of dangers and blunders we should avoid and guard against. This course puts an emphasis on learning these principles and lessons and applying them to current situations. It concentrates on learning the significance and application of those lessons from history. There is a lot of information to be learned in this course, and I've tried to organize it in a way that helps you turn the information into knowledge, to learn and retain it. And not only that, that you would turn the knowledge into understanding by thinking through the significance and application of what you're learning. And finally, that your understanding will turn into wisdom by putting these principles into practice in your own life and ministry. And this course intends both to cover the big picture of Christian history, but also to delve into some of the details on some topics. And that leads into a description of the overall format and approach that this course will take. There are basically 3 levels of focus to help you understand, retain, and apply all of this material. We're going to get a big picture view of a lot of stuff. There won't be much detail, just the highlights in order to grasp the framework of important events and trends. This will happen mostly through your own reading in the course textbook. But then we'll also look a bit closer at a few key events or people. These will cover fewer topics, but look at them in more detail and depth, so that you can go deeper in your own understanding and application of some of the most important subjects. And this will take place through the online lectures and discussions or reflections. And then there will be one topic, event, or historical person that you will examine in much more detail. That will be a topic of your choice, and this will happen through a guided term project, which you will research and present. All of the course activities, requirements, and resources will be introduced and clearly explained in the second introductory section covering the course resources and requirements. But I'll remind you again that they are all clearly laid out in the course syllabus and in the instruction guides included with each module. I believe that the course website is fairly easy to navigate. Just follow it from top to bottom and page to page in the order it is presented, and I think you'll do just fine. All right, that's all for the introduction to this course. I hope you're excited to work through this course and gain the benefits offered. And I will be praying for you as you engage in this material. And I pray this course will be a blessing that will help you to grow more into the person that God has created you to be. As I mentioned a few times, the next introductory section will explain all the course resources and requirements in much more detail. And I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.